What are we buying this week?
What am I trying to buy this
you're
week
trying to buy the one-of-one Nebula Wemby.
Yeah, it's a card that's going to sell for 1/4 of its last sale in a calendar year. I mean, this card, I'm pretty sure did 100K plus last time. And it's beautiful, man. The Nebula Optic cards, I mean, this
card is absolutely beautiful. It's listed at $47,000, one of one, PSA 9, 7 bids, 2 days left. What are you paying? What is your top line on this card? Like, what is the most money you'll spend on this card?
If I can get this card for 70K, I mean, it's a good buy because you already have data saying this is what it used to be. He doesn't have autos. People are probably looking at this like, ooh, it's Optic Nebula. Like, no, this is one of his top 10 cards because he doesn't sign. When we first started signing this podcast, I wouldn't buy a Wemby card. Now, I mean, it's in the gutter. It's time to buy. Like, look at the draft. Look at the depth chart. Like, the Spurs are going to be good. If Wemby is even 75% of what we thought he would be, he's a generational talent.
So 70K is your max on this card?
70K is my max because I'm a cheapo, but I'm definitely going to lose at 70K. Just because I want things for bargains. I'm a bargain
then what
hunter.
do you think the card ends up at?
I think it does 6 digits.
So you think it's a 100K plus card?
Maybe not today, but in the season it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's the next card on the list?
The next card is a sneaky card. It's the championship tags out of Immaculate. And in the States, it's not as big as it is overseas, but these championship tags are dope. If you don't know what they are, because, I mean, the Pistons haven't won a championship in a long time, it's not if you won a championship recently, it's how many championships you have as an organization. It's on the bottom of your jersey. It's really small. This is game used also. So Cade Cunningham championship tag is an undervalued card. I know the flawless one probably does like 30K, so I think the Immaculate one should do 20 plus.
On card out of 5, it's a pretty cool card.
Beautiful card.
This is at 15K on highest bid, 40 bids, so people are definitely looking at this card. 2 days left. Pop 1. Bookend 5 of 5. 15K for Cade Cunningham. And this is kind of impressive too because I feel like in the last couple of years, EMAC has kind of fell off a little bit, right? I feel like years ago people cared way more about Immaculate and talked about it way more and valued it way more. And it wasn't national treasures, but people kind of like looked at it right underneath that. And now I feel like there's a huge discrepancy between an NT and even NT and Flawless. But would you put Flawless and EMAC kind of on the same tier beneath national treasures? What do you think?
People have it all wrong. If you don't like IMAC, you're just wrong. You don't respect the asset state. You don't respect the game-worn stuff. You don't understand basketball because you're probably the same dude that wants to go buy an NT RPA over Flawless RPA. That shit's not game used. In my book, which is not what the market says, it should go Flawless, then NT, then IMAC. Even though NT's not game-worn, it's the true staple of the hobby. But it's just... I'd rather have something the player uses. You can tie it back to the player. IMAC has great vet logo mans that are all game used. A lot of the RPAs aren't, but the championship tags are. So they have good niche stuff that still sells for tons overseas. And when you look at it, like this is a Pop 1 and it's a BGS 8, it's because most people don't give a shit about grading this card. It's an acetate card. You're not going to get higher than an 8. So in a one-touch, it looks just fine.
What's after Cade on this list?
Another card that I just think it's cheap at this point. So Brady has tons of autos. And he has a couple patch autos. But none of them are game-worn 3-color on-card NT. Like, that just checks all the boxes. People are going to want good Brady cards in the future, and this is one of the good Panini ones.
This is beautiful, and I think you're right. There's not a lot of, like, beautiful Patriots patch Tom Brady cards. They don't come around all the time. Obviously, when he was a rookie, they didn't have cards like this.
No.
Right? You have they barely had contenders. I can't even believe they have a contenders Tom Brady back then, right? So this NT card is gorgeous, and I think that you see the market with Michael Jordan, his 90s inserts, what they're doing now, right? 20, 25 years later, 30 years after the fact. Tom Brady's market will follow a similar trajectory in terms of this is an $8,000 or $10,000 card present day. This is an $80,000 card in 30 years.
I want more people to buy with their eyes because I see these playbook Tom Brady autos, these select dog shit Tom Brady autos, these certified patch autos. Like, sure, go out and buy yourself some junk, but this is a really nice collector's piece. Like, Brady doesn't sign in NT and Flawless that often, and then rarely is it a patch with it. So just we'll look back, and this will be one of his better cards.
And we always talk about low pop, right? Long term. This is only printed to 15. There's only 9 of them in pop in a BGS. So I like this as a long-term hold for Brady for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
What is the next card you're looking at?
I feel like every week I'm throwing a Kobe card on there, but it's not always patch autos.
Well, also a Spectra Kobe card is also like you don't see that too often.
So if you're really sharp, like let me give you an example. Last week, a Shea Select patch auto tie-dye came up to me sealed, and I was like, Select's a piece of shit. But if you looked at it, it was on card. You turned it around, and it was game used. And those are the two things I want. This is a Spectra card. Sure, Spectra sucks, but 2013 it didn't. This is a 3-color game used patch with a bold auto and a cool looking card. No, is it not iMac? No, is it not flawless? But if you're not a hater, it's a pretty cool card.
Well, it's super curious too because Spectra, similar path to EMAC, except I don't think people value Spectra at all anymore.
No.
Whereas a couple years ago, like it was like, oh, Spectra's releasing, and like people were really hyped about it. Also, Spectra, like, what do you think about people who would say orange card, yellow, purple patch? Like, does that affect you as a buyer to not match the jersey or the coloring of the team, right? So like orange is kind of really like contrasting yellow and purple. Like as a buyer, like I'm not collecting this card because of that. I'm curious as to like what you think about that. Not for necessarily a flipping or sales point, but
I see what you mean with the
like
color.
I collect Kobe, and this is not like there's so many other Kobes I would collect over this.
Yeah, I see what you mean with the color, but we also need to look into the timetable of this. This is like first year Panini stuff, like 2012, 2013. And like you said with the product, like people nowadays think certified and totally certified are the same thing. They think that Crown and Crown silos are the same thing. Like at this time period, this was a good card. Does the color not match? Sure, but for the price you're going to pay for it compared to if the colors did match, you're saving tons of money just for a little. And if you're colorblind, I mean, it's a perfect color match.
Colorblind.
Yeah.
For those colorblind collectors
like
out
me.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got next? This is sick, this card. I really have not looked into this that much.
Dude.
And this is gorgeous.
Dude, you need to buy with your eyes more, man, because most people, like, they see manga and they're like, ew, 2021 mangas, 2022 mangas. They did a good job this year. They actually got a real manga anime drawer or someone overseas who actually has some talent.
Well, some of the mangas have been horrible.
They've been terrible.
Like they've been really bad, and
terrible.
this one looks awesome.
Like the only good manga outside this year was the Tom Brady with the Thanos gloves.
Yep.
Besides that, they've butched the T-Law year. They butched the Purdy years. This card is stunning. This set has a Puka that's really nice. It has an Xavier Worthy that's a good design. And so I've owned this card on release day. It was the bee's knees when it came out. I got it, PSA 10, paid like $5-6K for it, and I wanted to keep it. But I was like, I'm going to sell it because I know in 3 months people are going to forget about it, and I'm going to buy this back for less than I sold it for.
So do you think it's still going to sell for $5K, or what do you think it sells
for? $5,500. I think I get this one for $4,500.
Okay,
Maybe.
and what's also interesting is this is a PSA 10 pop of 33 versus a PSA 9 pop of 8. So I don't know if they put a little extra care, Panini, into actually manufacturing this particular manga sheet, right? Like maybe they cut it a little more carefully, and there are more PSA 10s because very rarely will you see a discrepancy like this where there's 4 or 5x the amount of PSA 10s of a particular card than a PSA 9.
Yeah, this set has graded well this year. All the mangas have graded well, which is nice. They're putting good quality control into cards. The color blasts have been grading good too this year. So
I don't think the hobby has a problem with the manufacturer, whether it be Panini or Topps, putting a little extra care into these types of sets, these parallels that are SSPs or case hits, right? Put that extra time to cut the actual sheet a little slower and make sure it comes out. And if you're gonna pay $5K for a card, it'd be nice to have a PSA 10.
Exactly, and majority of them are. So thankfully, they did take good care of it for once. I think this year's manga, people are gonna look back in a couple of years and be like, they did a good job, and I want this card.
What do you got next?
Going back to my favorite sets, the PMGs. This is not the first year baseball PMGs, it's the second year, but you're not going to see a lot of Sandman PMGs hanging around. Yankees fans, man, they are bag holders on this set. They are going to buy these PMGs, and they're never coming for sale again because, unfortunately, the Yankee fan base is the best baseball fan base. I hate to say it. I hate the Yankees, but they will pay what they need to get that card, and it will never come up again for auction. PMG, out of 50, Mo, good grade. You people think 8s are bad. Like an 8 for a PMG is a 10. So pick up this card while you can. It's only going to go up.
Only 50 of these also, and arguably the greatest closer of all time, the greatest Yankee closer of all time for sure. I think people forget how dominant he was, and he's going to be one of those guys who. Well, I mean, listen, the Yankees have so many greats: Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, right? Like, where does Mariano fit 20, 30 years from now? Because he's been retired for 15 years, right, already. So it's going to be interesting to see where Mariano ends up, because he does deserve to get his flowers with the Yankees organization.
He's the greatest closer of all time by far. It's going to be a long time till we see a closer this good. This is just a great card.
And it just seems like 2K is kind of an opportunity buy long term.
It's worth way more than that.
Do we have any cards for the average guy who might not be able to afford any of these $5,000 cards up here? Wow. Okay. I like a Tua $500. Still a little pricey. I know that some people watching this show might go, Dappz, Ethan, I don't have $500 either. Can you do some cards that are cheaper? We promise they're coming.
Yes.
We'll go over some more affordable cards in the future. We want to make sure that the cards that we're discussing are not completely unattainable for anyone in the hobby. This is significantly cheaper than the majority of the cards we talk about. And also, check out that patch, though, on this Tua card.
Well, so the reason I haven't put a lot of cheaper cards on here is because we're working off Ultras in an auction house. So people don't send cheap cards to auction, but you will find some diamonds in the rough in the lower end of the auction house, because a lot of the big whales don't even look down there. This is a card that whales won't even touch. It says Tua Tagovailoa on it. I'm not a Tua fan. I know you're not a Tua fan, but this has potential. This is a Panini 1 gold with 2 beautiful patches and a PSA 10/10. These Panini 1 cards don't grade a lot. If you're a Tua fan and you want to shoot some dice and maybe Tua makes the playoffs this year, this was a 5K card at one point. This card has potential to go up. If he wins a playoff game, Miami looks good, which I don't expect them to do. This is a nice card to buy.
Also, a 10/10 on a Panini 1 patch card. Like, that's not the easiest grade. I like this at $500 for sure.
Yeah, dude, 2020, this card was $5,000. Like,
that's literally insane.
Yeah.
That it's, 1/10 the price. And also, I can see Tua bouncing back. Like, I could see the Dolphins reemerging as an offensive powerhouse with McDaniels. They've not played great the last 2 years. This kid's got to learn how to slide, though, and not get concussed every other game.
When he plays, he's a above average quarterback, and he has talented players around him. Let's see what he can do. I don't mind spending $500 on a QB, because if he's in an MVP candidate or playoff bracket, it's going to shoot up. The last card on the list is also affordable. You're looking at a Pop 1 Gold 2009 Topps Chrome Tim Duncan. Like I said earlier, people are going to fill sets up. People want to check off the checklist, and they're going to need this card. This is Pop 1. You name your press.
A Pop 1 is really cool. And also, Tim Duncan is going to be one of those players, generational, where his price over time is only going to go up. When you talk about the greats, nobody ever disparages Tim Duncan. No. And, like, Tim Duncan's also one of those players where, like, you could argue Tim Duncan is better than Kobe. And, like, legitimately have an argument about it and put up stats and championships, right, to almost anybody. You could say it about Magic Johnson. Like, you could say Tim Duncan's better than Magic Johnson. You could say Tim Duncan is better than LeBron, right? Like, I mean, harder argument because of LeBron's regular season body of work and how much he's put together over the years and his longevity. But still, as we sit here right now, Tim Duncan has more championships than LeBron James.
Yeah, it's super easy to forget he exists because he's the quietest player in the league, or was in the league. But people are making top 10s nowadays, and I see Kevin Durant sliding in there. I see Nikola Jokic name sliding in there. Let's not forget, Tim Duncan has 5 championships. Tim Duncan is, if you played with Tim Duncan, they will tell you he's the best player they ever played with. People who played with LeBron and Kobe come out and say Tim Duncan's the best player they played with. Start collecting Tim Duncan, because he will have a market soon.
Please like, subscribe, and check out these other videos that we think you might enjoy.